Hello and welcome back to the Chap's Guide. Well, today you join me in my Hilton hotel room in Burton upon Trent, right in the middle of England. And the reason I'm here, well, I'm attending a 3-day conference before going on to another part of the country, Milton Keynes, to attend another business meeting. Now, I'm not away from home professionally all that often, but this week I'm spending sort of 3 nights away from my home base. So packing conveniently but sensibly for the week ahead has been my topic and key thought in my mind. And the reason why that's a big issue? Well, I'm a big believer of sort of taking as little as you can with you when you travel. It's more of an issue when you fly, of course, because you've got a limited amount of space to pack that stuff. But even when you travel on the roads, like I have, I've been provided with a hire car to travel around this week, which is great. You don't need to worry too much about carrying so much stuff then. But the truth is, I think it builds great habits if you always pack as sensibly, as compactly as possible. Now, for the 3-day conference, it's a professional conference, and I need to dress accordingly because it's not just learning, but there's networking. Fortunately, I'm not actually speaking in this conference, nice change, but I'm just a delegate, so I'm enjoying the whole conference. But you must always remember that the way you present yourself to the world, to the people in that conference, the fellow delegates, you never know when one of those people might be a key influencer in the rest of your life. It could be somebody who offers a job, sorts out a promotion, a great commercial deal. So you always want to be giving the best first impression that you can. And for me, whenever I'm in a professional environment, that means a suit, a collar and a tie. I'm pretty much a conservative, old-fashioned sort of person, and I believe that that is the professional uniform of people who work in professional businesses, as in fact I do. However, if you're in a 3-day conference, there's lots of opportunities to engage, to speak and to network. So dressing on your best standard is going to be challenging because, I really don't want to take 3 different suits with me. So the topic of this conversation we're having is how you make yourself look different over 3 days by just some small nuances to the way that you dress, to the ensemble of clothes that you're wearing, which can make people think you look different every day. So, for this particular trip, I have selected a pretty standard sort of navy coloured suit it's got a light check pattern within it, sort of Prince of Wales check, and it's an inoffensive suit. Now, I've worn this specifically for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of the business standard. You can wear it, to a daytime meeting. But also, in this particular conference, there are networking events in both of the evenings that I'll be staying here. There's going to be opportunities to dress down a bit. So with this sort of suit, it's quite easy to take the tie off and just look a lot more casual. Now, if I'd opted for a charcoal grey suit, perhaps, it would have been a bit more difficult to dress that down, because I believe the darker the suit, slightly heightened levels of formality that you tend to get. So I've gone for a pretty casual suit, one that I would wear normally to a meeting, but also, remove the tie, dress it down a bit, perhaps wear a pair of chinos instead of the suit trousers, and you've got something which, can morph into smart casual opposed to, business formal. The other thing that, the biggest impact of altering the way that you look from day to day, of course, will be the shirt that you wear. Because other than the suit, this is the most material that you're going to be wearing, so it draws the eye, and the type of shirt that you're wearing affects, the nuance, the ambience of the other clothes that you're wearing in your ensemble that day. Today I'm wearing a pink and white striped Gives and Hawkes shirt, so a nice shirt, but also very easy to dress down. So because it's not strictly formal, because it's not a single solid colour. Formality, for me anyway, would be a white shirt or a light blue shirt, white being the most formal. But today, day 1 of the conference, everybody's gathering here, there's a bit of networking in the evening. I thought if I wear a suit which is perfectly acceptable in the office environment, but also, you know, I just need to take my jacket off, put a pair of chinos on. Immediately, I've got a shirt which is acceptable in the sort of casual, if not smart casual environment. So I'm thinking about what I'm wearing. It's quite a clear colour as well. So the pink is the obvious colour. So if you meet me today, you will see me wearing these clothes. Now tomorrow, I will swap out that pink shirt and I will put a blue shirt on. Okay, so that blue shirt is immediately going to have a quite noticeable difference to the way that I'm dressed. That blue shirt will bring out more of the blues in my suit, and it'll alter the impact of the way I dress. Now, obviously, not just stopping with the shirt, all the accessories play a really big part in the way that your eye is drawn when you first meet people. So wearing the same suit for 3 days and 3 separate shirts of different colour is an easy way of extending the sort of newness of your suit, if that's a way of putting it. So I'm going to wear a blue shirt tomorrow, and then on the 3rd day of the conference I'm going to go white. So classic white, and again there's 3 totally different styles there, sort of connections, interconnectivity of the clothing. The navy suit is going to easily go between the light blue of my shirt, the white of the shirt, and this pink shirt. It's you know, it goes with them all equally as well, but it's this accessories which will be a really big impact on the way that I am perceived. Now, when it comes to the accessories, that's a really good way of changing the way that you look with these small little touches, and also very space effective way of changing the way you look as well, because the things I'm going to talk about are really small in size, easily packed, they have no weight, but they have a significant impact on the way that your clothes look, and particularly when people meet you for the first time, it draws the eye and it'll alter the way you look. So first of all, let's talk about the tie. Now the tie is something, you know, I know we live in an increasingly informal world where people are, you know, more and more not wearing a tie, but I think in conferences and formal events like this, the vast majority of people I noticed today, day one, all were wearing a tie. So today I've gone for a kind of very casual, very standard, a blue tie with small motif on it. It blends very easily with the suit because it's a navy tie, and you know, it went very well with the pink. So easy, nice connection. Tomorrow, I intend to wear my blue shirt. So I'm going to swap that out, and I'm going to wear a red tie, predominantly red tie. This is a lovely Gives and Hawkes silk tie. I should be wearing that tomorrow with my blue shirt, and as you can see, totally will alter the way that my suit will appear alongside this coloration. So again, very much about changing those little nuances. And then on the final day of the conference, I will go for white. I shall wear this white shirt, and along with that I will wear this lovely cream and black tie, which is a club I'm a member of, and it will again totally alter the way that I look. It'll have a distinctive impact on my clothes because those little changes actually really make a huge difference. Now, I know we live in an informal world and not all of you will be wearers of ties. Increasingly more people are wearing ties. So one way of altering the way you look, even if you don't wear a tie, is something which I'm a big fan of, and that's our good friend, the pocket square. Now, I'm a huge fan of the pocket square. I mean, it's really come on in leaps and bounds in the last few years. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a standalone video on pocket squares, such is my love of them. And in fact, you will rarely ever catch me wearing a suit or a jacket or a blazer and not having a pocket square, because it's such a great opportunity to introduce a splash of colour and to make life a little more interesting. And it's perfect if you're on a multi-day event, you want to wear the same suit because you don't want to be packing more than one suit, particularly if you're flying somewhere, travelling a long way. You know, weight counts when you've got to carry it. And these little pocket squares, they weigh nothing at all. And you know, you can throw a handful of them into your bag, and then you've got all that different interconnective choice when it comes to marrying it with the tie, with the shirt that you're wearing as well. So a great way of changing up the way you look. And in my little bag, and I'll show you my bag, I've just slung in a handful of pocket squares because I gave some thought to the shirts that I was going to wear, the ties that I was going to wear, and from my large box of pocket squares I have at home, I've curated a big collection of them over the years. If you're a big fan, you'll know what I mean. So I pick up a handful, and in the morning, I look at the squares. Today I've gone for pink. Little tip for you as well, actually, folks. A lot of people say, I'm not a big fan of the pocket square because I can never get it to sit properly in my pocket. It always sort of creeps down as the day goes on, and I spend all the day pulling it up, and it becomes a pain in the neck. That's easily overcome by a simple little tool here. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these pocket square tools. It's just basically, and I'll take the pocket square out so you can see what I'm talking about. It's basically a plastic little sort of ladder effect. You get your pocket square, you feed it through these slats within it, it pulls it up, and then you've got a solid foundation in your pocket from which to set your pocket square. And because the pocket square is held within that little ladder, which sits on the bottom of your pocket, however long your pocket is, your pocket square doesn't creep down all the time into your pocket. This is a fantastic little tool. I mean, you can buy these, there's all different types. Just put pocket square holder into, I don't know, Amazon, eBay, and I'm sure you'll find these. They cost virtually nothing. I've always got one or two of these in a drawer, and I think it cost me something like $10, £10, wherever it was, for 3 of them. So, inexpensive, and they really revolutionize the way that you can wear a pocket square. So, this is a pink pocket square because I've been wearing a pink tie. Never forget, never wear the same sort of material that you're wearing in your tie. That's a definite faux pas. But shall we say tomorrow, for instance, I'm going to wear that blue shirt with a red tie. Perfect combination, a predominantly blue pocket square. So again, pull my pocket square through my pocket square holder, pop it into the pocket, and boom, there we go. A different look, and something which, when you meet somebody who's spoken to you today, tomorrow they look at you and it looks very different. It's a totally different look. If you are wearing, if you're having to wear the same tie, for instance, because now for me it's easy, I'm here for 3 days, I've packed 3 ties. If you're going away for 2 weeks, it's going to be a lot more difficult. You don't really want to be packing 14 ties, but the pocket squares, they're not going to carry much weight at all. But these are an easy way of switching up the way that you look. And particularly if you're not wearing a tie, the pocket square is a wonderful splash of colour and adds interest when people talk to you. I have to say, over the many years that I've been, thinking about style and the way that I dress and the way that I attempt to make a fantastic first impression on people I meet, by far the most compliments I've ever had and the best openings to conversations I've had have been around the pocket square. Just by wearing a pocket square, people have said, wow, you're quite a snappy dresser. I love the pocket square. Because it's that splash of colour. Let's be blunt about it, a gentleman in the way that they dress with a business suit, a plain shirt, the pocket square is going to give you that opportunity to throw out there a bit of your personality, the splash of colour in what is potentially a very drab world otherwise. So great little addition to anybody's clothing, carries no weight at all, yet really adds up to your ensemble and easily carried. And let's just put a much lighter colour, for instance, can be worn at any time. So just whap that through there, easily put in, and again, just to show how different. A little bit more, bit of splash of colour. Remember, just throw it into the pocket. There's no sort of folding regime when it comes to a pocket square. The more chaotic, really, for me, the better, because I believe with a formal gentleman, the way you dress can be quite regimented. However, the pocket square is that little chaotic thing in your pocket which draws the eye, adds a bit of colour, and it really alters the way you look. And even if you've got no space, and you don't have anything else I'm going to talk about, the one thing that you can do to significantly alter your look is to have 3 different pocket squares if you're going for 3 days, like I have. I brought 6 because I like to have a little bit of a choice in the morning. It'll depend on how I'm feeling, because the colours have a really important factor as well. So this predominantly white one with little motifs on it, pretty neutral, not going to offend anybody. However, if I wanted to sort of switch it up, a predominantly red coloured pocket square. We know that red is quite an alpha colour, it's quite a strong colour. If I want to throw it out there and be confident and bold, wearing red, puts that out there to the world. It exudes confidence, I think, red. Orange, quite a sort of, I would say, something of a passive colour. You know, it's a fitting in sort of colour, you know, less bold and in your face, but it can be worn with so many different colours. It can easily be worn with a blue shirt, with a white shirt. It goes nicely with the navy suit. So think about what you're going to wear and think about the colours that you want to include. Don't have a clashing pocket square with your tie. It could become, you know, a little bit offensive on the eye. You don't want to be remembered for the guy who's not very good with colours. So think about your colours in advance. The other beauty of pocket squares, of course, the relative cost of these things. I mean, I buy my pocket squares from AliExpress. Most of these are silk. They're very inexpensive. You know, I rarely ever pay more than £3 for a pocket square. Obviously, if you're if you're moneyed up and you want to go full on, you can pay £50-60 for a pocket square. If you go to, you know, Savile Row in London, walk into one of the tailors there, you know, I'm sure they will relieve you of as much money as you have to make a fantastic pocket square collection yours. However, for me, as I've said so many times on this channel, the value proposition is key. And for a small piece of, you know, fabric, I'm quite happy to pay £3 from AliExpress. I'm very happy with that situation. It's up to you. You know, the efficacy of where you buy your stuff from is a matter for you to contend with, but for me, more than happy to do that. Now, changing out your tie, changing out your pocket square can make a significant difference to the look of your clothing, and it'll help you know, people when they look at you day 2, day 3 of the conference, they won't even notice that you're wearing the same suit, because you might have a different shirt on, you might have a different tie on, you might have a different pocket square. Hopefully you will. So it keeps you looking fresh, looking dynamic, and looking smart, and you'll get different compliments every day. One of the other things you can do, pay very close attention to your accessories. So, you know, if you want to get out there and do it, wear different coloured cufflinks. Today I'm wearing slightly sort of red cufflinks. Tomorrow I'll be wearing slightly blue cufflinks because I'm wearing a blue suit with a blue shirt. So, you know, and a red tie. So it complements the colours that I'm wearing, and they carry very little weight. Generally, I only tend to bring one set of cufflinks, but it's up to you. As I say, pay attention to the details. Now, another little accessory detail that you can alter, which can have an impression, is accessories. So, you know, a lapel badge, for instance. More often than not, I always wear a lapel badge on a jacket, a blazer, or a suit when I'm at a meeting or even socially, because I think these little things draw the eye and they make a difference. So today I'm wearing a very small lapel badge. It's a membership of a club I'm a member of. I often wear a charity lapel badge because I'm involved with a charity. I promote that charity by wearing the lapel badge of that charity when I'm attending events which are of that nature, charity related. So I always make sure that I pay attention to the detail and the badge I wear is relative to the event that I'm taking place in. Now, not just can you carry 3 badges if you're away for 3 days, as I am, and change out the badges on every day so you look a little bit different. Remember, it's those little tiny nuances that make all the difference. If you've only got 1 badge, okay, wear it on day 1, don't wear it on day 2, and then put it back on day 3, because the absence of the badge, remember, it's tiny little things which the human eye reacts to. So if you wear the badge on one day, take it off on the second day, because its absence is a change in your appearance, and that will make a different look to you on the days that you're not wearing it. So think about those little things, and in that way you can narrow down the amount of kit that you carry, the amount of kit you've got to pack, put away when you get back. You know, it's all work which can be reduced, and it's unnecessary if you think in advance and pack with style and interchangeability of your outfits as you go forward. So for me, I've only had to pack 1 suit, but I have 3 very different looks on each day of this conference, and nobody will realise that I'm actually wearing predominantly the same shoes, the same suit. All I'm doing is changing some of the accessories and the shirt, as I would anyway, because I'm away, you know, and I don't wear the same shirt day after day, clearly. So, you know, those little accessory changes will keep me looking fresh, looking dynamic and professional and smart, and the first impressions that I make on the people that I see, it'll be a big difference. So I hope my advice from the Hilton Hotel in Burton-on-Trent has been of some assistance to you, and perhaps when you go on a journey sometime soon, you can think dressing in advance, think about those accessories, easy to pack them, and keeps you looking spot on, tip top. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do click the like button, and when you're there doing that, you just as well click the subscribe button as well. That way you won't miss any of the future material that I put out for your benefit as a chap. And if you really want to, and I'd love it if you would, leave me a message in the comment section below. I really enjoy hearing from you guys and learning new things all the time. So keep giving me advice. It's great to hear it all. And I look forward to seeing you in the next Chap's Guide video very soon. And until then, please keep looking sharp and stay safe.